What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this does not work. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday. My buddy Stuart Morrison will be about 3:30 Eastern. We'll be doing our pick show and just kind of chilling out this Saturday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great day, recovering from all that you ate for Thanksgiving. For our Cowboys, who do not play tomorrow because it is another crazy week, they'll actually get back on the practice field tomorrow. And I'm excited about that, and I guarantee you that they're chomping at the bit to get back on the field after having that Thanksgiving game that they'd like to forget. One person who's going to be out there again that will be a benefit will be none other than D-Law. Now, the thing you have to ask is, how much of effect can D-Law bring since he hasn't played since week 1, coming off of the broken foot? What'd you say, Mike? Health, yeah. Well, here's what you have to understand. As much as everybody likes to think that football is not a team sport, football is a team sport. You can go through and say the quarterback, sucks. He can't, do this, can't do that. The reality is, the quarterback, and like Roger Staubach, and if you want me to pull the tape out, I'll pull the tape out. Roger Staubach said, if it weren't for Drew Pearson catching the football, I wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. And that's the truth. It takes more than just one guy. Well, on the defensive side, we have our Terminator in Micah Parsons, who is a beast. Micah Parsons has done everything that you could imagine for a rookie who is a linebacker slash edge rusher slash sometimes he'll come out the middle. He's almost everywhere. In fact, I do believe that the best thing about Micah Parsons is being an X factor where you don't put him in just one place. You want the quarterback, when he comes to the line of scrimmage, having to worry about, where is that guy? Where is he? If you know where a guy's going to be every single time, and it's easier to scheme against him. If both offensive tackles end up having to deal with them, and then all of a sudden the center has to deal with them, and at speed, nobody's going to get into a rhythm and understand what moves he's trying to make. There's the unknown factor for him. And by getting DeMarcus Lawrence back, we know that DeMarcus Lawrence isn't going to be a 100% go play one. He's just not. So the Washington one is just a shot glass rack, right?
A 10.
Okay. And so you need 2 more of those in Cowboy colors.
Yeah, the list is right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying. I'm sorry.
Then I need a 10.
A 10 what?
A Cowboys 1 10.
Okay, and then
2 10s and 2 hat racks is what I'm missing from when I looked at the other one.
Do we have 4?
Yeah, there's 4 right there.
Okay. All right.
So I think 4 backs. Just need the laces.
Okay, so I got to put those together. Dang,
then I can box them up.
I thought I was done for a little bit. Okay. Anyway.
Putting them together. That's it. And I'll box them up.
Oh, that's it. Just put them together. That's it. That's all you got to do, Dad. In other words, say get off your lazy ass and get this shit done. And you can see all this stuff up here that's got to go up in the attic, so I got to pull that down and get here. There's just always so much to do. But anyway, back to the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. So Micah Parsons, I think the best role for him is no particular role. Micah Parsons being able to go all over the place. Because what you want to be able to do is you want to be where they're not. That's the key thing in football. Just remember that. You want to go where they don't think you're going to go. And the same thing is true on the defense. If you can overload a side, let's say you got Randy Gregory over there, and then all of a sudden you have Micah Parsons who's on the weak side, and then he cheats up to the outside of him. You don't think that quarterback is going to get scared? Or if you end up having him lining up over the guard and you do an X stunt, that's where the defensive end crashes down and he swings around the outside, loops right off his butt. You're talking about all kinds of sacks, because ultimately a great player makes everybody else better around them because you're worried about him. So just having Randy Gregory out there with DeMarcus Lawrence makes DeMarcus Lawrence that more effective, because you have to worry about Randy Gregory. You can't solely focus on DeMarcus Lawrence. If you got DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, and Micah Parsons, that's three guys that can get after the quarterback's ass. That, my friends, we have yet to see altogether completely, because remember, Randy Gregory missed the first game because of COVID. Because of COVID the first week. Then DeMarcus Lawrence got hurt that first game. We have yet to see Micah Parsons, who leads the NFL in tackles for losses, is 10th in the NFL in sacks, is 6th in the NFL in quarterback hits. And he's done that the last couple of weeks without Randy Gregory on the field. What do you think it's going to be like when we have Randy Gregory, once DeMarcus Lawrence gets his footing underneath of him? You get back at Brett Urban, and you got a Tristan Hill. Oh, by the way, Tristan Hill. You know, a lot of y'all like, screw Tristan Hill. He's a bum. Well, here's the thing you got to understand about interior defensive linemen. Your job is not to get the glory. It's not. It's not. Because most people who don't understand the intricacies of football, they'll look at the numbers and say, well, the guy only had 2 sacks a year and 20 tackles. He didn't do shit. Those are icing on the cake. See, what his job is, and I had a conversation with one of you guys from Texarkana today, ordered a Joe Barty and a rack. And we were talking about Van Der Esch. It's like, man, Van Der Esch is having problems. I said, he's having problems because your interior defensive line is not keeping the guards from going to the second level. When you have defensive linemen, okay, that get that push, it makes it easier for the linebackers to make the plays. If you've got that interior defensive lineman that's getting into the quarterback space, it makes the defensive ends get the glory and get the sacks. But their numbers won't reflect what they do, because their job is to hold the line. It's not to sack the quarterback, it's to hold the line. And as we get a Tristan Hill, who's got, I think, 6 tackles. I think he had 4 tackles. 4 tackles this past week in only his 3rd game back, and they've been bringing him along slowly. He's only playing like 39% of the snaps. If he continues in this trajectory, he's going to be really good for the Dallas Cowboys. And if we could ever get Neville Gallimore back on there with his push, you know, all of this worry that we've had about the Cowboys collapsing will be brushed aside, because they're getting back to where they should be. But we haven't seen this defense, which has played good at times. I know this last week was ugly. It was ugly for a multitude of reasons. Mainly, you've got so many people: Donovan Wilson, DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory. I mean, you just got so many guys that aren't there. And we were due to have a bad game on the defense. But you're about to see something we haven't seen all season. And I don't know if the first game is going to be the one, but by the second one, by the time we get to Washington, that defense should be playing lights out. We'll see if I'm right or not. But you definitely haven't seen that. Anyway, a slave driver said, I got to get to work. I got to get these things put together. I'm working it, boss. I'm working it, boss. I'll see you later.